Hey everyone, how we all doing? March the 31st. I've come out for a walk. I'm going to try and do one of these every week while this lockdown thing's going on. Now I've come to do a circular walk from my home village at Edwinstowe, and I've headed off in the direction of Clipstone. As you've seen, we're back at the River Maun again. Now if you saw my video last week at the sunrise heading off towards Ollerton, I've started at the same point but I'm walking in the opposite direction. So next up I'm approaching King's Clipstone, which has got the former railway junctions of Clipstone East and West Junction heading off towards the collieries. Then we're going to follow alongside the old railway line towards Clipstone Colliery and then Vicar Water. Then we're going to cut through part of Clipstone village and we'll pick up the Maun again, follow it back in this direction before veering off, touching a little bit of Sherwood Forest over towards Warsop before completing a circular walk back to where we started. So if you want to come along with me, I'd love to join me. Let's crack on. So I'm stood right over the River Maun now, so we should be up there a little bit later on. The railway line's that line there. That's where we've just been walking along, that's where we've just come from. Now this track coming down here, this is where we should finish. I think it's going to take me about an hour and a half maybe. So if all goes to plan, we'll be back here in about an hour and a half. But first off, we're going this way. So I'm stood right in the centre of the triangle, which is the Clipstone East and Clipstone West junctions. So we've got what's now the High Marnham test track, that's heading off towards High Marnham in that direction. Over there we've got the old cord, the old eastern cord, that was lifted first I believe. And there we've still got the Signalbox, and that's the western cord, and that will take us over towards Clipstone. In that direction, we're heading off towards Shirebrook. I'd like to have got the drone up, to be honest, and did like an aerial view of the triangle, but looking straight up, there's too many pylons, so that's not going to happen. Let's get a bit closer to that signal box. Right, so in Clipstone now. Up there we've got the former railway line which headed off towards Clipstone Colliery, which is just over there, or was, and Mansfield, Rufford Colliery and everything. And that is looking in the direction of where we've just come from. And looking to the right, just over there's some trees, and through there, if you haven't recently, some of you went to that King John's Palace. That is probably about 200 metres over in that direction, so it gives you a rough idea of exactly where I am. I think I might run up the embankment and show you the signal. Covered this railway in June, I think it was, last year, and we had a look at these signals. There's another one 100 or so metres further down facing the opposite direction for oncoming traffic towards Clipstone. So let's climb the ladder, we'll have a little look. I've not done this for a while, not since I was on the Welbeck Colliery line at night. There you go. Bit of a view behind. Okay, make my way back down to the bottom now. So back over there again, that's where we started, that's where the signal box was at Clipstone Junctions. So I'm going to get back down, follow the path and head off towards the colliery. I've come off the route a little bit, so there's the track just behind that fence there. I've not climbed over anything, it's wide open. Up here there's still a little bit of railway architecture from the steam days. So that what we've just been looking at, that was the old water tower which serviced Mansfield concentration sidings. Now these sidings, they closed 20-30 years ago roughly, and were there used to service the coal workings from the surrounding pits and collieries. Steam's been gone, as we all know, since the late 1960s, so that's been sat like that for over 50 years. Would have once had the tank on the top. Back on the track now, really fast approaching the former colliery at Clipstone. So I'll see you a bit further down. So Clipstone Colliery, that's through there, the headstocks the other side of those trees. I'm not going to go over there. I'm going to be environmentally friendly and give you some recycled footage from my last visit a couple of months ago. And then I'm going to head on down. Vicar Water Country Park is just under a pair of railway bridges. So the first one we're going under, that's the former line into the colliery, out of the colliery, and took you back onto the former Mansfield Railway. That was the one that was closed most recently when the pit shut down. The second one we're going under is the previous line, which went off and joined on to the line off towards Rufford Colliery and onto the Mansfield to Southall line. That was taken out of use in 1983, I believe. So let's crack on under these bridges and then peer at the other side at Vicar Water. Video I did a couple months ago, we saw the golden hand in Vicar Water Country Park, and a few of you asked what it was for. Nah, it was put in by Sustrans, and it was to commemorate the cycle route which goes through the park. And apparently it's 10 foot high, but I'm 6 foot high, and it might be. What do you think? Anyway, some say it's there, and it's grasping the headstocks of Clipstone Colliery. So let's leave the golden hand, leave Clipstone Colliery behind. This is the Vicar Water, and we're going to jump over this and walk alongside one of the numerous lakes and at the other side. So this is what happens when I open a Belvita and a coffee. So yeah, they're really pleased. I've donated my entire jammy Belvita to them. They're really grateful. I think they'd rather prefer it if I'd got another 2 dozen or so, but sorry guys, that's it. So I've had to say goodbye to me friends, and I'm going to walking alongside Vicar Water and heading off towards the car park of Vicar Water before we have to deviate off from this route and head a little bit north. So we changed course now, so you just see me take a 90-degree right turn. So Clipstone is over there, so we've completed that, we've come this way, we've taken the southerly route. Now we're taking more of a northerly route to a little area called Newlands, which is next to Clipstone, and then we're going to take another 90 degrees turn roughly and take the path over the northerly side of Clipstone. So this is all new to me. I've never set foot on any of this. Crown Farm Colliery was over there in the distance there, probably about a quarter of a mile behind me. But all this going forward over the northerly way over Clipstone, never set foot on it, never been there in my life, so it's a bit of a mystery tour. So let's plod on. So I'm back in a beautiful woodland now. All I can hear is birds. That way, that's called Badger Hill. We're going down Snake Hill. And well, I couldn't tell you why it was called Badger Hill, but the path appears to be pretty twisty down there, so that might be where it got its Snake Hill name from. Currently going down. I was under the impression that we might be going up. This is beautiful down here. I've never seen it before in my life. It's lovely. I'll pan around in a second, you can see all the trees. Eventually at the top of here, we'll be back at the River Maun. So there's a number of lakes. I think I've counted about 4 now, and they're all dammed off every so often, just like that, with a little pipe culvert going through to the next one. So there's another one just through here, look, and it's controlling the flow of water. I'm assuming it might be going down to the Maun, but here's one of the overflows here, look. And there's where that last lake comes out. We've just been stood at the top of, comes down here, and we're welcome back the River Maun. There we go. So yeah, I said at the beginning of the video we'd meet it again. So it's flowing that way, so that way's got to be home. So we have to go up this way first before taking a 90 degrees right further up and following it again. So that's the direction I've just come up. That was Snake Hill, and now we're going this way. The River Maun is a little way down there, but we are walking along it, just not yet beside it. Not sure if you could hear it, but there's a woodpecker up there. Listen. Did you hear that? So the Maun, it's really calm at this point. Look at that. Lovely reflection coming off it. On the other side, we've just flown over this fishing lake. It looks like that's a couple of 100 metres long. Clipstone now would be over there, so we've done the big like turn back, and we're heading back along the Maun and back towards the railway line that we saw at the beginning of the walk. Centre of the picture, that's where those 2 geese just landed. Probably wondering what the hell I'm doing. Gorgeous. Getting closer to some water. I can hear falling water, like there's a little cascade or something coming up. I hope so. That'll stop this beautiful calmness and it'll turn into something a bit more rough. To my left, that's the Sherwood Forest steam railway. It's a narrow gauge line. I've never been on it myself. It's the first time I've actually seen it. I'll get you a close up of the sign. Yeah, so we're about to pass under the High Maun test track again. It's a bit further along here. Yeah, so just passed under the railway line. There was a lorry there which was too high for the bridge, so they was delivering something, and I think they was just unloading it and it was going to carry it down to the farm, maybe. So I didn't film that because it'd be a bit nosy, really. So just done over 10k according to my app, which is a lot more than I expected to be doing today. Legs are starting to feel it. I think we've got about another 2 to go then. Fast approaching Sherwood Forest. Over there, the railway runs towards Welbeck Colliery Junction, and that zips off in that direction, and the main line basically follows the pylons over there. So this road's Goresthorpe Lane, so if we go left we're heading towards Bradmer Hill. There's a windmill up there and also Market Warsop, and going right to take us straight back to King's Clipstone and Clipstone itself, but we're not going that way. We're going to carry on through this woodland. So we're going to follow this woodland now. So Bradmer Hill, as I say, is over there, and further up we come to Top Val's Hill. Now I haven't a clue who Val is. I don't know if she's called Top Val because there's a few Vals. She's the best one, and I'm certainly unsure. If anyone knows, comment below who Val is. On a serious note, we're heading in the direction of Edwinstowe again, and also King's Clipstone before that. And next up, after that short little bit, is the A6075 Edwinstowe over that way, and Warsop, Mansfield Woodhouse that way. It's a lot busier, this road. A lot of traffic considering we're only supposed to be making essential journeys or exercise, but we're going straight over and following that little route over there. Now what this section of the path essentially does is cuts out the A6075, and we're going to take a curve. It curves around and meets up with it again, and we'll cross the A6075 again in about half a mile before taking the final stretch back to where we began today. So here's a little bit of history. I didn't have a clue that this was here, but it's, well, basically I'll read it to you. And it was erected by William Arthur, the 6th Duke of Portland, in 1912. It marks the site of the Royal Chapel, Chantry and Hermitage dedicated to St Edwin, King of Northumbria, of which the few stones here collected are evidence. In 1901, King John paid the Hermit of Clipstone, who, I can't tell what that bit is, sang in St Edwin's Chapel in the Hay of Burgwood, the annual service for his soul, and those of his ancestors. Similar payments by succeeding kings are recorded to 1548. There are survey maps that show the chapel was here in 1610 through to 1630. So there's a few words I couldn't quite make out on that, it's just worn away. That's really interesting, isn't it? So you can see there we've done the big curve around I was telling you about. A6075 is not far from down there now. I can hear the traffic a little bit and I can see a couple of road signs. So we'll amble our way down there and then we'll make the final part off towards where we began at King's Clipstone. Now I have plotted 3 or 4 routes so far to walk, which start from home and finish at home. Circular walks, bit of history, bit of beauty, picturesque stuff. And I'm going to try and do it once a week on one of my days off and fit it in between the regular videos, which I've still got about 18 of, which I've filmed over the last 6 months from other places in the region. So I might be able to, I'm going to try and bang out 2 a week while all this is going on. I'm still going to work at least 4, even 5 days a week, but you know, it gives you lots something to watch, and I enjoy putting them together anyway, and it's getting me out on one of my days off as well, rather than being stuck in or being at work. And here we are, right back where I started. Over there, I've got the High Marnham line and the River Maun underneath this bridge, a little way down here. I'll have a look, see what I've apparently done. It says 13.3 kilometres. So there's the Maun, that's the route back. I'm just gonna have a quick coffee. I can see a couple of robins sat in the bushes there between the berries, but the cameras weren't picking up. I've seen no end of flipping wildlife, animals, birds. There you go. I don't know if you caught that going across the water. That was the robin having a little fly. There he goes. Oh no. It's like a starling. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. As I say, keep an eye out probably twice a week. Take care, stay safe, keep well. Thank you, all of you. Look after yourself. Bye bye.